This week I made and will be reviewing broccoli beef stir fry. In an effort to lose weight, my wife and I recently signed up for Weight Watchers, and this recipe caught my attention on their front page. I have to admit, anytime I see a recipe on a diet website, I automatically assume it won't have any flavor, or worse, it will taste terrible. But this not only surprised me, it wowed the whole family. So, I will be scoring this recipe based on 4 criteria: ingredients, time, flavor, and cleanup. At the end, I will tally the points to give us a real-world dad score, which on its own means absolutely nothing, but when factored as a percentage and converted to a letter grade, it will give you a reliable score you can use to determine whether or not this recipe is worth cooking yourself. Now, I want to note this video is not sponsored by Weight Watchers. I am a paying member, and I am not a professional chef. I have never worked in food service. I am a busy dad who has been cooking for my family of 7 for 15 years, and like many families, cost, time, and ability to feed everyone are very important factors in our house. So let's get started. The ingredients needed to make this recipe are easy to source. The only potential issue depending on your region might be fresh ginger and fresh broccoli. But fresh ginger can be easily substituted with dried ginger, and frozen broccoli can substitute fresh broccoli while still retaining most of the flavor. So this recipe gets a 9 for the ease of finding ingredients. The cost of ingredients needed to make this recipe is about average. The biggest expense is the sirloin, which thanks to the recent increase in beef prices, worked out to about $19 for 3 pounds. I had most of the seasonings on hand, so the only other ingredients I had to purchase were fresh ginger, broccoli, chicken broth, and soy sauce, which brought the total to $26.42. That breaks down to just $3.77 for each of us to have a healthy portion and allows the kids to have seconds. So I give this recipe a 7 for cost. Not much time is needed to prep. The recipe calls for 16 minutes to prepare 4 servings. I tripled the recipe and still managed to have everything prepped in 25 minutes. So this recipe is quick and easy to prepare. The one thing I would recommend is freezing the meat for about 45 minutes to make slicing easier. This recipe is also quick to cook. The recipe calls for 12 minutes to cook 4 servings, and again I tripled the recipe but still managed to finish cooking in 33 minutes. So between the relatively quick prep and cook time, this recipe gets an 8. This is a great recipe for a busy weekday. There are only 5 steps in the directions and they are easy to follow. The only advice I can offer is to make sure you mix the chicken broth, soy sauce, and water solution ahead of time and stir in the cornstarch a minute or 2 before pouring it into the pan. This will prevent it from thickening while cooking the vegetables. Otherwise, I give this recipe an 8 for simple, easy to understand directions. This recipe was a hit with my family. Everyone gave it a 10 on the basis that they would easily eat this once a month for the rest of their lives if given the choice. I personally rated it a 9 because while it was very flavorful, the only recipe I've cooked deserving of a perfect 10 is beef Wellington. In our house, our kids alternate cleaning the kitchen and rate cleanup based on how many pots, pans, or bowls won't fit in the dishwasher and need to be washed by hand. This meal is very easy to clean up and they rated it a 9, which when combined with the ability to easily find ingredients, quick preparation, and cook time, and outstanding flavor gives us a real-world dad score of 50 out of a possible 60, or a solid B+. I will definitely be making this again in the near future. That's all for this week. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing. And if you give this recipe a try, let me know what you thought in the comments below. See you next time.